Hey, this year I have not yet shared expectations with our exchange student, and she's been here a month. Why in the world would I do that? But did I really plan for that? No, but here's some things that I learned. Hi, I'm Jenny, and this is Host Family Exchange Student Life. On this channel, we help you navigate through real life hosting and exchanging with informational content, vlogs, and interviews. It's nice to see you here. You're welcome to subscribe if you want. So what is the big deal with expectations? Do you need to have any when you're hosting a foreign exchange student, no matter the length? So I have to say, typically we go over expectations with our new foreign exchange student within a few days of them coming. But one thing I noticed is that sometimes the language isn't always there, so the information that I give them, really it doesn't all get processed. I'm not sure that by me not sharing expectations this far into it is a result of, let me see if I just give it a little bit more time, so I don't know what I was thinking. During times where you share expectations, you talk about how you like to run your house, including use of the kitchen and laundry and cleanup and all sorts of things that are important to you. Also such things as transportation, curfew. It's just kind of where you tell them, hey, if you're going to live here, this is how we do things. So with our student this year, who you may or may not get to meet, if she wants to be in front of the camera or not, it is up to her. It has been a great year so far with her. She's very observant and picks up things very quickly, but I do have to say, being a month in, there's starting to be a couple things that I'm like, oh, maybe I should have told her that. It's kind of inconveniencing me a little bit or bothering me a little bit because it is important to me. I should have talked with her. And so when those times have happened, obviously I don't get mad at all, because that would be ridiculous. And I make allowances in her favor because, hey, she didn't know. And usually what ends up happening, I hear when there might not have been expectations laid, is it usually ends up in friction. Communication is so important, and letting your student know that you are open to hearing what they have to say, and also planning regular times for that, however frequent or infrequent, is really important. Having expectations be something that's kind of an ongoing conversation. If you start out the year like that, it helps it not be an awkward conversation later on. I hate awkwardness is part of life though, but if I can make the awkwardness go down, let's do that. For example, I have a rule in my home. This is a no shoe household. You walk in, you take off your shoes, you set your shoes down in the designated spot, and you don't ever run back in with your shoes on because you forgot something. No, you take it off every time. I'm a little bit OCD about this one. I have no idea where it came from, because as a kid, we wore our shoes. I mean, I think most families wear their shoes inside the home. I don't know. But I'm super particular about don't touch your shoes on my carpet. We lay on that carpet, we play on that carpet. I want it to be a place where I can lay down and not worry about bird poop or mud or whatever. So anyway, that's just me. If I never share that with my student, but instead like hope that they just pick up on it or something, and then if they don't, like I give them a weird look or make a sound or something, like that's just ridiculous. But sometimes that's how host families treat things that are important to them, that they should be sharing as expectations, but they don't. And then it's just this weird awkwardness where nobody's communicating. So at the beginning of the year, get your expectations down. Your coordinator or your agency should be giving you kind of a guide. I will be making a content episode that goes a little bit more in depth and that can help walk you through. It's just gonna make things go more smoothly. You're also gonna be saying what you are going to do in return to them. It's not just all about what they are going to do for you. You know, what are you going to do for them? Are you saying, hey, I will always be there to drop you off at your tests? I mean, it could be anything. Knowing what you're going to give in return, so it doesn't just feel like a laundry list of stuff for them to do. Here's also things that we share, that we'll do in return, so that they can feel safe and have expectations of us. And then if there's a problem, we are held accountable too, and that's important for mutual respect. It's a give and take, it's a conversation, it's a growing and evolving thing, and that's great. You know, our first year hosting, we gave our expectations up front, but as the year unfolded, I'm like, oh, you know what, I think I probably want to add to that. So I just kept little notes of things I wanted to add. There's no perfect way to do it. Just know that it can evolve. One place where we introduce maybe new ones are family council. There's a little bit about it in one of the introductory episodes. Maybe by the time you're watching it, I'll have one up there for you to see. I've got so much content in my head to try and help you have a better experience off the get-go, because there's just learning curve things that it's just a little bit of knowledge that if you have, it's just gonna make it just that much better. And there have been times where I've had to have a conversation about expectations to really make sure they understood where I was coming from. Maybe I didn't explain it clear enough, and I just really wanted to be on the same page because it was that important to me. And that's also good to do if you feel like they do understand but they're resisting, and you make sure they know what's going to follow if they don't follow that. There was one time there was something very basic but very non-negotiable. I mean, not something ridiculous like don't sneeze after 10 p.m. because I can hear it. It was something that was kind of a make or break deal with having exchange students, just because I don't want to go there at all. And if this expectation is not kept, then it would be best if they were at a different house. And you'll have a wide variety of things like that. Some make or break deals, usually all of them are very important, but just try to be chill about it. You don't need to come off as, these are my rules, you must follow them. Like, that's no fun. So what did I learn after not sharing expectations for a month is that different students can pick up easier or not about the flow of a household. Different students are more apt to ask questions or silently figure it out themselves. And sharing of expectations early on is going to benefit both of you. Expectations are preventative. Expectations are kind. Expectations lead to mutual respect, and expectation leads to smoother time together. I'm gonna throw a fifth one in there just because expectations are extraordinary. Why would I say that? Because you want to have an extraordinary time. You want the time that you spend being a host parent to be one that you look back on and smile and be thankful. Whether you host one time or whether you host 40, it's really not something that everybody does, and so might as well do it right. So thank you for joining Host Family Exchange Student Life. I'm Jenny. This has been a Candid Couch Conversation, episode 2, where we talk about expectations and what I learned from not sharing them with our student. So I hope you will have expectations. Make sure your expectations are reasonable, but make sure you're choosing expectations that are important to you, and you will have a good year if you tell them earlier and make sure they understand. And it's okay to revisit. It's all good. Have a great day. We'll have a Candid Couch Conversation another time. Expectations are, what's something cool? I don't know if that made any sense or not right there. Be reasonable. Be reasonable. It really helps. It really helps the students if they're reasonable. Expectations are extraordinary.